Good morning on Facebook, live on Dorking NCT Facebook page. I am Zoe. Hi Instagram, Zoe from the Sling Consultancy, going live for Feature Friday as we do each week for the Dorking NCT Sling Library, talking through a carrier. So today's is the close Caboo. Just going to troubleshoot it because there's another video if you want to learn a little bit more about it. Now, sometimes it might come like this, or you might have washed it and you're a bit like, what do we do now? So you're just going to pop it over your shoulders and drop it down. And then we're going to rethread with the closest one to our neck. So it doesn't really matter which one we do first. We're going to go under, go behind, ensuring that that's flat, which that was twisted. So then we're just going to poke it through and bring it all the way through. So leading with the top rail, top part, and then you're just going to do the same. Poke it back through and thread it. Okay, so it's really, really easy. The threading this is a really helpful thing because you want that nice and fanned out in order to be able to tighten these really effectively across the whole width of the Caboo. So if we're making sure that this goes through nicely so that our top is our top and our bottom is our bottom, so that when I pull that, we know it's going to tighten this underneath piece here. I'm going to just do the same on this side, so go behind, put my hand through, pass this into and pull through. One of the biggest things with the Caboo is that people often find that it's nice and snug, and then they'll pop baby in and then baby will either go lopsided or will drop down, and that's because there is not the slack somewhere in your system, and it will always be going to the heaviest point, which is going to be your baby's bottom. Okay, so invariably if you've got a little bit of looseness one side, that's what happens when baby goes lopsided. If you've got it just generally all over, then baby's going to end up dropping down. So another really important thing is to size this before we put baby in, so we don't have to do as much tightening around baby. So as I was just adjusting, if I need to add a little bit more slack, I just pull on backwards on the rings and that makes that bigger. If I need to pull it, that will just make a little bit less space there. So just going to make sure kind of I've got enough space here for my baby. I don't want lots here, just enough to get them in and then tighten it around them. That's what we're going to do. So then we're going to grab our babies. We're going to put them on the top layer. We're going to use our free hand and stroke the collarbone and guide their leg into the knee pit. Okay, really important, just into the knee pit. And these dolls don't really have great knee pits. Hands up, stroke your collarbone, moving the back of the sling and into the knee pit. Okay, and then you're just going to let baby settle and drop into the sling, because that then will take the slack to here, to their bottom. Okay, so then you're just going to spread. So again, we want our bottom one, so this one, spread it all the way across baby's back to the other side, and then up the other side. Now you'll notice what happens is it covers baby's face. So actually a really good little tip is to go in and grab the outer edge and twist it, because then what happens is actually we get a shoulder flip that happens and it takes the fabric away from baby's face. Okay, so you can do the same on the other side, or just go with the closest size to you. You will need a little bit of slack to be able to do that. And that's another way, if you're finding that this edge is a bit loose, you can just flip it round. Or if we now want to tighten, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our rings, because this tightens very precisely across the whole width here. So if this bit's a little bit loose, I'm just going to bring it to here. Okay, then I'm going to go to my bottom and we're just going to pull it in the direction it's going this way, so that way, the top that way. Invariably what happens is people will just pull the whole thing. Okay, that is not precise tightening, that is just going to tighten it. Inevitably it's going to leave a bit of looseness somewhere on your Caboo. So what you want to do is take your looseness round under to the leg. Now it's here, now I can just use that to precisely tighten it a tiny bit. Okay, and again then do the whole width of your rings all the way across, so that we know that this piece is all lovely and tightened. And you can do the same on this side. So again, give it a little pull to here if you feel you've got a bit of looseness, and then just tighten your top, tighten your bottom, and then pull all your in between, and that will fan out and pull across the whole of the width of their back. Okay, so let's just move that because we want that to be clear of baby's face. There we go. So that's talking about your shoulder flips. You're going to always obviously put your third layer on, which I have here ready to tie on with my instructions. So another top tip, these have the long bits inside, so you can just open that out to get this piece. This is going to go up to the neck, under the bottom, and then you're going to tie it behind you, just in a knot here. double knot always, so it's nice and secure. And then if you're finding that these bits are a bit in the way, we need to make sure that we come forward with those, because the rings work on pressure. So if we are going to take this backwards to tie it away from us, you'll find that this will loosen. So go under their legs, cross it, and then you can either, if you can reach to tie it, or just tuck it back up here. Okay, tuck it under your rings, tuck it out of the way. And that way you're free then, you've got nothing dangling down if you know, for example, want to go to the toilet. Really, everyone does that. I've been lots of times, front or back carrying. Absolutely crucial. But checking this is up to their neck and under their bottom and is nice and snug. Okay, so if you're feeling that as you're moving this is loosening, you can still tighten it. You just need to make sure that you can access your dangly bits, okay? So then you can just lift baby's weight and tighten just a little bit, top bit, then go and do your bottom bit, and then do the bit in the middle. That is enough normally to troubleshoot any concerns that you're finding with the Caboo. So often people find that baby drops, and that's just because you've not tightened it effectively in the first place. So what we always try and do is set up our carriers or slings really well beforehand before putting baby in, because that generally means we're going to have less work to do. I love the Caboo. I used this a lot when I was on the school run because I could just put it on, and actually I could adjust it as I was walking, which I knew could get it right then, rather than tying the stretchy and then having to try and adjust that. I just found that this could be quick and easy in that respect. And people often think that the Caboo is really quick and easy because you just put it on and then put baby in, but you do need to do some work beforehand to get that lovely and effectively tightened. To take baby out, we're just going to take these sides back and lift them out. Now, in order to take our Caboo off, you might find that you need to loosen it a little bit to take that off, which, you know, generally you're just going to pull back on the rings. That means obviously you're going to need to tighten it every time around your baby to get a really good fit. These are not as stretchy as a stretchy wrap traditionally, so we do just need to tweak how we use it slightly. Taking it off, I grab both pieces in one hand, and I'm just going to put one arm in over my head, and then a lovely last tip. Get the piece with the logo on and just give it a shake and check that your tails are nice and loose, and check that it's going through the ring properly. So here it's just gathered over a bit, so I would just, before I want to use it next time, just spread that out a little bit so that I know that I can precisely tighten that. As you're taking these on and off a lot and chucking them around, you know, you may find you need to rethread your rings every now and again, just to make it easier for you to use and to tighten, because otherwise what happens is you're trying to tighten it and it's all bunched up. So they are my top tips for using your Caboo. I will be at All Saints Cafe Church in Leatherhead this morning. If anyone wants to pop along, chat about anything carrying related, bring your sling along. They do lovely teas, coffees and lunches and cakes and everything there. So I'll be there this morning. I'll have my laptop to do some work as well. But yes, join us there. We've got Sling Library next Tuesday at St Paul's Church, 1 till 2:30, and that's second and fourth Tuesday each month. And then I'm available for consults every morning of the week, and limited availability on weekends and evenings, depending on what our needs are and what your needs are, and also available via the internet. So yes, if anybody needs any tips with carrying, then do get in touch. Always love sharing those on Top Tip Tuesday, or also if you have any particular issues with a carrier, then get in touch, because it's always useful to do these for other people, because invariably you won't be the only person experiencing that. Enjoy the glorious weather. It's a fab day today. I'm hoping that continues for the weekend, and I will see you soon.